What's up, ReadyUpLive? Hopefully you watched my Blitz gameplay to get a better idea of what these cards are. Now, obviously, these cards come in packs, and you can get these packs by completing objectives. As far as I'm aware, you don't earn anything like credits to buy these. You know, things can change between now and launch, but what I was told was that you unlock packs by completing objectives. And as you progress through campaign, you'll unlock cards or packs that are related to what's going on in the campaign. So say you meet a new enemy, you may get that enemy as a card in a card pack to use in multiplayer. So it seems like they dish them out pretty frequently. They're not too hard to get. They'll be, you know, daily, weekly challenge kind of things, where if you complete those challenges, they'll be maybe, you know, destroy a certain amount of enemies in any multiplayer mode, which won't necessarily have to be Blitz. It could be any multiplayer mode, but by doing so, you'll unlock a card pack. Obviously, you'll be able to purchase these as well. And you know, everybody hates microtransactions, but anybody, you know, who's a little more grounded understands that they are essentially a necessary evil, if you want to call them that, in modern gaming. You know, preach all you want, but the amount of money, to be fair, to be honest, that these things make at essentially zero cost to the company it's just, you can't persuade them otherwise. Like, it works. It just does. It's a thing. So as long as it's relatively fair, and that's debatable, we'll see how that works out in this, but as long as they dish out enough and they don't hold anything back, as long as you can earn it all in-game, I don't really have a problem with it. Obviously, I would prefer, when it comes to any kind of microtransaction thing, that they would be cosmetic only. And unfortunately, that's the huge issue here, is that you might have a little bit of an advantage here if you buy a lot of microtransactions. The good news is, as far as I'm aware, these are not one-time use. Once you unlock a card, you unlock it. If you unlock multiples of the card levels up. It gets a little stronger. Apparently, it's not huge, but it's little things here and there. It's almost like a veterancy, which I believe can happen in-game as well. And it was made very clear to me that microtransactions were not the genesis of the Blitz game mode. It came after. It was like, oh, this game mode's really cool. And the reason they used cards was not, again, not a microtransaction kind of thing. Like, believe me, I grilled them on this. They said it was more of a understanding thing. Because this is an interesting new mechanic, and it can become so much more complicated if you bring in all these new terms, but everybody understands cards. Everybody loves trading cards. Like, that's such a thing that's ingrained in you, in everybody, for years. That's been a thing. Everyone gets trading cards. So to use these common terms like cards, like, you understand that you play cards and you select a card, you play it. Like, that's such an easy thing to wrap your head around, and that was the main reason they chose cards. But really, they just wanted something more arcadey and to be able to drop units in at any time. So once you have all these cards, you can manage your decks. Now, by managing your decks, you have a certain amount of slots. So I like to go from top to bottom, choosing my strongest units first. I was lucky enough to get Scarab Assault, which I get to use in the game. You'll see posted. And then there's some few ones here and there. You know, I like to have some flying units, some banshees. But I think it's nice to have fast-moving and small, easy-to-purchase units. Because, again, these all cost energy. So, you know, it's going to be difficult to get a Scarab unless you're really tackling all the energy resources. So that's why you want something smaller as well. Something that you can play early. Otherwise, you may just get knocked out because you don't have enough smaller units. So Blitz is certainly an interesting game mode. I'm curious to see how people kind of figure out how to work it. Because Blitz Firefight's very fun, and you don't have to really worry about fairness too much there. But as soon as it becomes a multiplayer thing, I noticed the games were pretty one-sided. Almost all of them, because we were new players. I was also sure that it's because we were new players that'll happen. That'll be very one-sided. Like, someone will just win, and it's just, you just get donged on. But apparently in the office, as they've been testing, the better everybody got, the more even matches got. So that is a brief overview on how these decks work. I wanted to give you guys a little look at it. And before you know who you are, make a super long ranting video about how someone's paying me to do this or something, go look at everybody else, because I'm not the only one invited to this. Like, we were all shown this. The purpose of this trip was Blitz mode primarily. We got a lot of insight into Blitz. Like, that is what's being revealed today. So definitely, you know, feel free to go rant about another YouTuber or another news site. Like, full-on news sites are reporting on this. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. This is definitely one you got to get your hands on, get a feel for, because it is very fresh. Thanks so much for watching. See you next video.